Welcome once again to Digital Training Hub. If this is your first time visiting the channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to receive alerts when new content is released. This is Lesson 7 of 7 on communication skills. In this lesson, we are going to learn the use of communication skills in representing the organization. Lesson 7. Representing the organization learning activities 1. Appropriately research and present relevant presentations when participating in internal or external forums, in a manner to promote the organization. Special instructions. Activities can be carried out in groups or individually. Learning activities 2. Deliver a clear and sequential presentation within a predetermined time. Learning activities 3. Utilize appropriate media to enhance the presentation. Special instructions. Presentation, drills and simulations can be carried out. Learning activities 4. Apply consistent written communication with organizational standards. Learning activities 5. Respond to inquiries in a manner consistent with organizational standard. Introduction. This learning outcome covers how employees represent the organization in different forums using appropriate media to enhance their presentation, apply written communication and respond to client inquiries in line with organizational standards. Definition of key terms. Media. Means or methods used to represent information. Multimedia. Refers to any technology that utilizes both graphics and sound in a digital form, e.g. use of PowerPoint presentations. Research and delivery of presentation. When participating in internal or external forums, presentation is relevant, appropriate. Researched and presented in a manner to promote the organization. Employees are the organization's ambassadors and representatives to visitors and society. They need therefore to maintain good relations with the internal and external stakeholders. The organization should have a clear, precise means of conveying information to the internal and external world. Internal communication is when members of the organization exchange information with each other. It entails the exchange of information and ideas within the organization. External communication involves the exchange of information both within the organization itself and outside. It is when members communicate among themselves as well as with parties outside the organization. Presentation techniques. The following should be considered when making presentations within and without the organization. Portray a positive image of the organization. The presentation should be relevant to the topic. It should be clear and concise in line with the objectives. It should portray good mastery of the content, subject matter by the presenter. The subject should be well researched. Maintain eye contact with the audience. Make use of facial expressions. Presentation is clear and sequential and delivered within a predetermined time. Purpose of the presentation. Who is the audience? In terms of characteristics like age, gender, needs, knowledge, etc. Mastery of the content, subject. Keep it simple. What are the most important parts of your topic for the audience to take away? The message should be simple and clear. Make use of illustrations to support your key points. Exhibit confidence and passion about what you are presenting on. Portray a sense of friendliness and connect with the audience. The presentation should be orderly and logical. The time allocated for the presentation should be adhered to. The structure of a presentation. Purpose. Determine the learning objective and goal of the presentation. Focus on the main points the audience will gain from the presentation. Know the audience, in terms of characteristics like age, knowledge, background, seniority, gender, etc. Start with a bang. Catch the audience's attention and provide them with a reason to be interested in the presentation. Body of presentation. Begin with the introduction, then the main points and conclusion. All these should be directly linked to the purpose of the presentation. Closing the presentation. Have a strong closing as it is the final impression you will leave with the audience. Appropriate media is utilized to enhance the presentation. The choice of media for the presentation is critical. You should select the media that best suits your message and is appropriate for your audience. Presentation forums, meetings, seminars, workshops, printed media, newspapers, magazines, posters, audiovisual media, television, radio, electronic media, internet, email, Facebook, etc. Multimedia utilization in presentation. Multimedia is the use of different presentation mediums at the same time. Multimedia involves the use of a combination of text, sound, and/or motion. Multimedia includes any technology that utilizes both graphics and sound in a digital form, e.g. use of PowerPoint presentations. The advantage of using multimedia in presentation is that the information being conveyed is easily understood by the receiver. The audience also gets a clear grasp of the concepts being presented. This is because it involves not just the use of narration, texts, but incorporates the use of graphics. Computer-based media. These include presentation software such as PowerPoint. Interactive computer-based presentation aids are also used to enhance the effect of the presentation. These are handheld units used by members of the audience, connected to a monitor to which the speaker has access. These interactive aids are useful for tracking audience responses to questions, and they have the advantage of asking for a show of hands. Audiovisual media. This involves the use of media that utilizes both sight and sound, e.g. videos. Videos help to clarify, explain, emphasize, or illustrate a key concept in your presentation. The considerations on the choice of the appropriate media include the characteristics of the audience, the form of the message, content to be communicated, the urgency of the message, organizational policy, security and privacy of the message, cost, the venue of the presentation. Differences in views are respected in an organization. Different views are expressed by both the employees and the clients. This exhibits the diversity in humanity. It is therefore important to develop the skill of respecting other people's views and at the same time adopting what is right and in line with the organizational objectives. The skills that one needs to adopt to ensure other views are included: negotiation skills, agreeing and disagreeing politely, allowing others time to express their views, interrupting politely, openness and flexibility, showing empathy. Written communication is consistent with organizational standards. Communication skills relevant to client groups. Effective communication is based on how a message is delivered and how it is received. Miscommunication occurs when one person doesn't deliver information in the same pace or priority as the other person processes. When communicating with an audience, it can be difficult to address all the different communication styles in attendance, but it's imperative that you switch back and forth to ensure that all in the audience get the message you are presenting. In order to communicate effectively with the different client groups, you need to understand the message you need to communicate and then focus on the importance of connecting with others. This calls for you to adopt different styles to communicate with different clients. 2. Methods of written communication. Handouts. Handouts are appropriate for delivering information that audience members can take away with them. Letters. Letters are used to communicate to individual clients. They also contain information that is not meant for the public. The receipts in most cases are expected to make written responses. Posters. These are used to communicate a variety of clients. They should be brief and precise and communicate the message in a simple way. They are often used for public information. Banners. They communicate to a wide range of clients and can incorporate the use of graphics. Circulars, memo. These are used to communicate within the organization. Written communication is often meant for literate audiences. It is, however, important to make the following consideration when preparing to communicate in written form: level of literacy of the audience, urgency of the message, organizational policy, confidentiality of the message, appropriateness of the written media. Inquiries are responded to in a manner consistent with organizational standard. Clients' responses should be addressed promptly, professionally, and satisfactorily. This involves acknowledging customer views. Listen carefully and keenly. Demonstrating your willingness to help the customer. Give the client assurance that you will make effort to address their inquiries. Encourage the customer to give all details about their inquiries. Reduce the response time by getting back to the customer promptly. Gather all the information needed to respond to the inquiry. This will ensure that follow-up inquiries are reduced to a minimum. Prioritize the customer inquiries by having a list of all the inquiries, the persons to be contacted, and the time for responses. Ensure responses are responded to with speed and accuracy. Handling client inquiries over the phone, pick up the call promptly. Greet the client politely. Identify the organization by name. Inform the client to whom he/she is speaking. Find out the reason why the client is calling. Keenly listen to the client's inquiry. Take notes if necessary. Ensure you repeat the information to the client to show the customer you have understood the question. Offer the client a solution if impossible to do it, or assure him/her when you will get back to them. Conclusion: this learning outcome dealt with means of representing the organization through written and multimedia forms and handling of clients' inquiries according to organizational standards. Further reading: Lauer, D.A., and Pentak, S. 2000. Design Basics, 5th ed. Fort Worth, Texas, Harcourt College Publishers. Pearson, J., and Nelson, P. 2000. An Introduction to Human Communication, Understanding and Sharing. Boston, Massachusetts, McGraw-Hill. This is the end of the lesson. Thank you for watching and listening to this lesson. See you in the next video. If this is your first time, remember to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to receive alerts when new content is released.